Did you know that 78% of Americans who transformed their financial lives didn't make more money? They made different decisions with the money they already had. Look at these two individuals. Same salary, same bills, same starting point. But one made one change 30 days ago. One change. And now their trajectory is completely different. I'm here to tell you today that the gap between financial struggle and financial freedom isn't about knowledge. It's about implementation. When I was drowning in financial confusion, it wasn't another budget template that saved me. It was understanding the spiritual laws of money that operate whether you believe in them or not. Type 1 to write the next topic, or type the changes you want. Now let me ask you something that might disturb your spirit. Why do you keep praying for financial breakthrough when you haven't been faithful with what's already in your account? Ask yourself right now, do you truly know where every dollar you earn is going? Or is money slipping through your fingers like water through a sieve? Are you still treating money like it's just numbers when it's actually a relationship? A relationship that reveals your true values, your true priorities, your true character. I'm not here to give you another get-rich scheme that tickles your ears but leaves your bank account empty. I'm here to guide you through what I call the 30-day money metamorphosis. Just as a caterpillar must surrender to transformation, you must be willing to break from financial patterns that have held you captive. What you're about to learn isn't just about addition, adding more money to your life. It's about subtraction, removing the financial habits that have been stealing your future. Every principle I'm about to share comes in pairs. What you need to stop and what you need to start. Because your financial deliverance requires both breaking chains and building new foundations. Are you ready for transformation? Are you hungry enough for change? Because in the next 40 minutes, I'm going to share 12 money rules that don't just change your bank account, they change your life. The framework set up. Before we dive into these life-changing principles, you need to understand the wealth triangle that governs your financial life. The first corner is psychology. Your thoughts about money, the beliefs you inherited, the fears that make you clutch your wallet too tight or spend what you don't have. The second corner is mechanics, the systems, the habits, the daily disciplines that either build wealth or destroy it. And the third corner, listen to me now, is environment, the people you surround yourself with, the information you consume, the spaces that either tempt you to spend or encourage you to build. Most financial advice fails because it only addresses one corner of this triangle. They give you budgets without healing your mindset. They tell you to save without changing your surroundings. I want you to do something right now. Put your hand on your heart and ask yourself, which corner of my wealth triangle is broken? Is it the way you think about money, the habits you've formed, or the people and places that influence your decisions? Now hear me when I say this. These changes will feel uncomfortable. Your brain has created neural pathways, habits so deep they feel like they're carved in stone. But what's carved in stone can be broken. What's formed can be transformed. The discomfort you feel in the coming days isn't a sign you're doing it wrong. It's a sign you're doing it right. It's the pain of growth, the stretching of your financial muscles that have been atrophied for too long. Are you ready to be uncomfortable for 30 days so you can be unstoppable for the rest of your life? Mental money mapping. The first thing you must eliminate from your life is financial amnesia. That fog that descends on your mind where you don't even remember where your money went. That days where you check your account and wonder, how did I spend that much? Some of you are walking around in a financial coma. You're breathing, but you're not aware. You're earning, but you're not conscious of where it's going. Financial amnesia is a spirit of confusion that keeps you bound. It whispers, don't look too closely at your spending. Don't face the truth of your habits. It keeps you comfortable in your poverty. I'm calling you to wake up. to become conscious of every dollar that passes through your hands. Instead, you must start what I call daily money minutes, a practice of sacred awareness. For just 3 minutes every day, you will look your financial truth in the face. This isn't about shame. This is about clarity. This is about relationship with your money. Just as you can't have a strong relationship with someone you ignore, you cannot prosper financially while avoiding your numbers. Your 3-day challenge is this. For the next 3 days, write down every penny you spend, every coffee, every subscription, every impulse buy at the checkout line. No hiding, no excuses. Total honesty between you and your money. Let me tell you about Marcus. Marcus was making $85,000 a year, but couldn't figure out why he was always broke by month's end. When he finally committed to this practice of daily awareness, he discovered he was spending over $800 a month on conveniences he didn't even value. Just 30 days of consciousness created $9,600 of annual freedom in his life. Your financial revolution begins with attention, with consciousness, with the courage to see what you've been hiding from yourself. Value velocity. The second trap you must break free from is the time for money equation. That prison where you trade hours of your precious life for a paycheck that barely sustains you. Too many of you are still thinking like slaves instead of stewards. You're saying, I make $20 an hour, or I earn $50,000 a year, as if your time and your value are the same thing. But your value isn't measured in hours. Your value is measured in problems solved, in transformation delivered. When you link your income directly to your time, you put a ceiling on your prosperity. You create financial handcuffs that keep you chained to a schedule, to a boss, to a system that will drain you until there's nothing left. What you must start instead is value to compensation, alignment. You must ask yourself, how can I create value that works even when I'm sleeping? How can I solve problems at a scale that transcends my physical presence? This isn't just about passive income. That phrase has been cheapened by those selling you dreams without substance. This is about understanding that your mind can create solutions that your body doesn't have to deliver personally. Your 3-day challenge is to identify one problem you solve in your work or life, and brainstorm 3 ways you could solve that same problem for 10, 100, or 1,000 people simultaneously. Maybe it's a skill you could teach online. Maybe it's knowledge you could package. Maybe it's a service you provide that could be systematized. Consider Vanessa, a physical therapist who was trapped in the time for money equation. She worked 50 hours a week, helping patients one-on-one, exhausted and underpaid. When she embraced value velocity thinking, she created a series of specialized recovery protocols that she now licenses to clinics across the country. Her income quadrupled, while her working hours were cut in half. I'm calling you to think bigger than hourly wages, to see your value through heaven's eyes, not through the limited perspective of an employer's timesheet. Your worth isn't in your hours, it's in your impact. And when you align your compensation with your true value, velocity replaces the slow drip of paychecks with a flood of prosperity. Decision architecture. The third financial prison you must escape is willpower-based restraint. Some of you have been trying to budget through sheer force of will, and it's leaving you depleted. You're saying to yourself, I will not buy that coffee. I will not order takeout. I will not give in to that purchase. And for a few days, maybe even a few weeks, your willpower holds. But then what happens? Life happens. Stress comes. Fatigue sets in. And suddenly your willpower crumbles like a house built on sand. The truth that financial gurus won't tell you is that willpower is a limited resource. It's like a muscle that fatigues with overuse. When you rely on willpower alone, you're setting yourself up for failure. What you need instead is decision architecture, the intentional design of your financial environment to make success automatic and temptation distant. This is the wisdom of Proverbs applied to your finances. Prepare your work outside. Get everything ready for yourself in the field, and after that, build your house. Decision architecture means removing the financial temptations before they test your willpower. It means setting up systems that make saving and investing your default, not your struggle. Your 3-day challenge is to identify your biggest financial temptation and then change your environment to make that temptation harder to access. If online shopping is your weakness, delete those apps and remove stored credit cards. If impulse grocery purchases drain your budget, switch to pickup orders only. If dining out depletes your account, meal prep on Sundays so the easy choice and the right choice become the same choice. Take Jonathan, who couldn't stop impulse shopping on his phone late at night when his willpower was lowest. Instead of battling this temptation night after night, he set up his phone to automatically enter downtime at 9 p.m., blocking shopping apps. He also created automatic transfers that moved money to savings the moment his paycheck arrived, before he could spend it. In just 30 days, his savings grew from 0 to 1,700, not because his willpower improved, but because his environment changed. Don't exhaust yourself fighting financial temptations. Remove them. Create boundaries that protect you from your own weakest moments. This isn't about restricting yourself. It's about liberating yourself from the cycle of regret that follows failed willpower. Wealth community. The fourth chain you must break is financial isolation. Many of you are suffering in silence, drowning in financial confusion with no one to throw you a lifeline of wisdom. You're embarrassed to talk about money, afraid to admit what you don't know, hesitant to reveal your struggles. And in that silence, the enemy of your prosperity thrives. Scripture tells us that in the multitude of counselors there is safety. But you've been trying to figure out your finances alone, armed with nothing but YouTube videos and conflicting advice from people trying to sell you something. This isolation isn't just uncomfortable, it's dangerous. It leaves you vulnerable to making the same mistakes over and over without the mirror of community to show you your blind spots. What you must start instead are strategic money conversations. You need to intentionally create a circle of financial clarity where truth can be spoken and wisdom can be shared. I'm not talking about listening to more financial gurus. I'm talking about finding people who are just 1 or 2 steps ahead of you on the path to prosperity, people walking in the financial freedom you desire. Your 3-day challenge is to identify one person in your life who demonstrates financial wisdom, not flashy wealth, but true stewardship, and invite them to coffee with specific questions prepared. Don't ask for money, don't ask for loans, ask for insight, ask for perspective, ask them to share their financial journey. Consider Maria, who carried $42,000 in credit card debt and felt too ashamed to tell anyone. When she finally broke her isolation and joined a financial clarity group at her church, everything changed. Another member had eliminated $65,000 of debt using a strategy Maria had never heard of. Within 6 months of implementing what she learned through these conversations, Maria had paid off her first 2 cards and created a viable plan for complete debt freedom. Financial isolation is a prison, but it's one where you hold the keys. You must be willing to be vulnerable, to ask questions, to invite wisdom into your life, even when it feels uncomfortable. Your breakthrough is waiting on the other side of a conversation you've been avoiding. Your prosperity is tied to relationships you haven't yet built. Break the silence that has kept you bound. Growth mechanics. The 5th financial fallacy you must abandon is passive account management. Too many of you are treating your finances like they're on autopilot, thinking occasional attention is enough. You check your accounts when bills are due. You glance at your retirement once a year. You look at your investments when the market makes headlines. This passive approach to your money is keeping you stagnant. You cannot grow what you do not tend. You cannot multiply what you don't monitor. Just as a garden untended will grow weeds instead of fruit, your financial life left unchecked will produce debt instead of abundance. What you need instead is what I call the weekly 1% improvement system. This isn't about making dramatic financial leaps. It's about consistent, intentional steps that compound into transformation. Each week, you will dedicate 30 sacred minutes to asking one powerful question. How can I improve my financial life by just 1% this week? Not 50%, not 100%, just 1%. This question shifts your focus from overwhelming overhauls to manageable movements. It breaks financial growth into bite-sized pieces that add up to feast-sized results. Your 3-day challenge is to schedule your first 3 weekly money meetings with yourself. Put them in your calendar like appointments you cannot miss. These are holy moments between you and your financial future. Then identify the first 1% improvement you'll implement this week, whether that's reducing one expense, increasing your retirement contribution by a percentage point, or learning one new investing concept. Take Robert, who felt overwhelmed by his financial situation. Instead of trying to revolutionize his finances overnight, he committed to the 1% system. His first week, he found a way to save 1% on groceries through strategic meal planning. The next week, he increased his 401k contribution by 1%. The week after, he negotiated his insurance premium down by 1%. These small steps felt manageable, not overwhelming. After 30 days of 1% improvements, his monthly cash flow had increased by 267 and his retirement contributions by 175, changes that will compound into thousands over time. Stop waiting for financial lightning to strike. Start building your prosperity one deliberate brick at a time. The 1% you improve today becomes the foundation for the 10% you'll grow tomorrow. Stoic financial freedom. The 6th bondage you must break is attaching your emotions to money fluctuations. This emotional roller coaster where your peace rises and falls with your bank balance is destroying your financial stability. One day you're up because your account is up. The next day you're down because an unexpected bill arrived. Your mood swings with the market. Your sleep quality depends on your debt total. You've made money your emotional master. The Stoic philosophers understood what many modern Christians have forgotten, that attaching your emotions to things outside your control creates unnecessary suffering. When you tie your inner state to your financial state, you surrender your peace to the temporary. What you must cultivate instead is financial detachment with clear boundaries. Not detachment from responsibility, but detachment from allowing money to determine your worth, your mood, your identity. This is the wisdom Jesus taught when he said, "Where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." He wasn't just talking about giving. He was revealing a profound truth about emotional attachment. Your financial detachment requires establishing clear boundaries around what money means in your life. Money is a tool, not an identity. A resource, not a refuge. A means, not a master. Your 3-day challenge is to identify one financial situation that consistently triggers emotional turbulence, whether it's checking your bank balance, receiving bills, or making purchases. For 3 days, when you encounter this trigger, practice the Stoic pause. Take a deep breath and ask, is this within my control or outside my control? Then respond with wisdom rather than reaction. Consider James, an investor who rode emotional waves with every market fluctuation. His anxiety during downturns led to panic selling, while euphoria during upswings caused impulsive buying. When he practiced financial detachment, separating his emotional state from market movements, he not only found peace, but also improved his investment returns by 14%, as his decisions became strategic rather than reactive. You must learn to say, "This financial challenge has come, but it is not who I am." You must train yourself to declare, "My bank account may be empty, but my spirit remains full." This detachment doesn't mean you care less. It means you position yourself to solve problems with clarity instead of chaos. Your financial freedom begins when money loses its power to control your emotions, when your peace is sourced from something higher than your net worth. Integration phase. Now that you understand these transformative principles, you must know how to integrate them without becoming overwhelmed. Because transformation isn't just about information, it's about implementation. This is why I want to share with you the Rule of 3 integration strategy. Don't try to implement all 12 rules at once. That path leads to frustration, not transformation. Instead, select just 3 rules to focus on for your first 10 days, then add 3 more for the next 10 days. Then the final 3. To complete your 30-day metamorphosis, let me reveal something that financial teachers won't tell you. The number one reason people abandon financial systems isn't because the systems don't work. It's because they try to change too much, too fast. They sprint when they should be walking. They demand perfection when they should be seeking progress. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus taught, "No great thing is created suddenly." Your financial rebirth follows this same truth. It unfolds day by day, choice by choice, habit by habit. Let me walk you through your 30-day calendar. Days 1-10, you'll implement your daily money minutes, decision architecture for your biggest temptation, and your first weekly 1% improvement meeting. Days 11-20, add your strategic money conversation, practice emotional detachment with one financial trigger, and begin reframing your time for money equation. Days 21-30, implement the remaining rules while strengthening the foundation you've built. This integration phase requires a profound philosophical shift. You must move from asking, "What do I want to buy?" to asking, "What life do I want to create?" This isn't just about accumulating wealth. It's about aligning your financial choices with your deepest values. Your money tells a story. Every purchase, every saving decision, every investment choice reveals what you truly believe about yourself, about the future, about what matters. Is your money telling a story of impulse or intention, of reaction or creation, of living for today or building for tomorrow? The choices you make in these next 30 days will write a new chapter in your financial story, a chapter of intentionality, of wisdom, of alignment between your spending and your purpose. Remember that split screen we began with? Those 2 identical individuals who made just one different choice 30 days ago? Look at them now. One remains caught in the same financial quicksand, sinking deeper with each paycheck. The other stands on solid ground, building a foundation that will support generations. The difference wasn't luck, it wasn't privilege, it wasn't even income, it was decision, it was implementation, it was the courage to break patterns that were breaking them. Your financial freedom isn't just about you. When you break these chains, when you build this wealth, you position yourself to be a blessing, to be a solution, to be a river that brings life to everyone around you. The Stoics taught that wealth without purpose is poverty in disguise. Your prosperity isn't meant to be hoarded, it's meant to be stewarded for impact. So I ask you today, with all the passion in my soul, 30 days from now, will you be exactly where you are today? Will you be making the same excuses, carrying the same debts, living with the same limitations? Or will you stand in a new financial reality because you had the courage to implement these 12 rules? Because you decided that today was the day of your financial awakening. Your next step is clear. Download the 30-day implementation calendar I've prepared for you. It breaks down exactly what to do and when to do it. No confusion, no overwhelm, just clarity, and action, then make your day one commitment right now in the comments below. Tell me and this community which rule you're implementing first. Put your stake in the ground. Make your declaration public so your accountability becomes power. Your financial promised land is just 30 days of obedience away. Not obedience to me, obedience to the financial principles that have stood the test of time. Obedience to the vision of freedom that God has placed in your heart. The choice is yours. The time is now. Will you remain where you are, or will you rise?